That could be a homemaker as well.
Absolutely, it could be a homemaker.
Yeah. I'd love to hear from the others as well, because this is an opportunity for me to learn from you.
I just would like to add on two more, a piece of advice which I have learned very hard from my life. Fear holds many of us, it sometimes freezes a person. So what I want to tell you is fear is only an illusion in the mind. So whatever frightens you or you encounter in any circumstances, just think about it practically. What is it that is holding you on? And put it in writing and address it. If you do micromanagement, plan it out, and then, passionately deal with it, and have a goal for excellence, and time and again retrieve it, take the advice, take the feedback, and then go on, definitely you actually go up. That is one piece of advice I wanted. And second piece of advice, what I wanted to tell you is, life is not a bed of roses, understand? So we have ups and downs in life. Some are very intimidating, some are very, very hurting to you. But one thing you must definitely keep in mind, that past trauma should not be allowed to program your responses to the current situation we are facing or to the future. What is going to come for us. If you are able to do that, switch over to that, then let me tell you, sky is the height for you to travel on and march ahead in life. But then for that, you have to have the inner strength, and you must look at your own thought pattern which goes on in your mind, and then decide the right course of action. You should be able to accept the situation as it is for you, and as and when you get back to your traumatic situation, you should know to shift yourself and come out of it quickly and march ahead in life. This also is a very, very important thing which goes on in life. Otherwise, we get stuck somewhere. We are never able to come out of it and then go up and prove our potential. Thank you.
Debjani, define power.
I don't know what power is, very honestly. I've never been able to figure that one out. But I do know what leadership is. And what I was taught very early in life, in fact, by my father, is that leadership has nothing to do with designation. It has nothing to do with your gender, who you are. It has everything to do with being the best version of yourself. So that you can guide your company, your people, to the goal that you've set for them, or you've set for the company, you've set for yourself, right? So I always believe that anyone can be a leader, frankly, irrespective of the position that they hold. It's about taking that initiative. It's about knowing where you want to go and being able to influence everyone around you to join you in that journey and reach that other end successfully. So to me, that's what leadership is. Sorry, power, I have no clue.
I think simplistically, power is the ability to choose. I think it's, you can choose to influence or back off. You can choose to transform or change. You can choose to be stuck. You can choose to be a homemaker or the President of the United States. So, the power is basically the ability to choose, which most of us are afraid, or it slips out of our mind or hearts very easily. And I think you can only choose if your heart and head is with you.
All right, thank you.
Yes, sir.
My name is Ajay Gandhi. Ms. Kidwai, one question that needs to be addressed is whether you see women flowing into all functions of organizations or all streams of work, or are they limited largely to certain areas of work? Because if we are looking at a 40% share in the workforce, then they need to be everywhere. Sales, stores, everywhere. When we are talking of business. And I still don't see that happening. At the same time, if you are looking at the movement of the women into the workforce, it's significantly larger an urban phenomenon. Do you see the same thing happening in smaller towns and in the rural areas?
This is a big question. Let me take a stab at it. I think your perception is right, that women have tended into functions like finance, HR, what we call the support functions rather than frontline roles traditionally. But believe me, in the banks, it's changed completely. And therefore, you see women having risen right up to the CEO. And some of that onus lies in the organization itself. If you are with a good firm, they will make sure you move around. If you're a good father, you will make sure that you educate your kid in that organization in a way that you train them through different responsibilities. So some of that onus is also on the organization or the family or whatever business you're in. And it is changing. So I think, but the point you make is valid, that we do need to have a much wider experience as we go forward. And the perception that women should just be in those support roles is certainly going away. But it has traditionally been the case.
Last question now.
I just would like to add what Naina said. You must be seeing the changes, in fact, very visibly. In fact, some of the changes are coming out very, very rapidly. Even in smaller rural villages and towns, being a banker, I have seen that many of the women folks actually join together to form a self-help groups. They are raising their voices against the very high rate of interest charged by the money lenders. And their community consciousness has come about. And they demand for a lower rate of interest of loan amongst themselves. So that has started. In fact, women have also started entering into the male bastions, and like, they are willing to run the taxis, the cars, truck drivers. So the change is happening, but our country is so huge, population is so high, changes has to happen much faster, but then definitely we will see a different India, maybe another 1 or 2 decades. So we have to, believe that the change is truly happening, and it has started in the right way. Yeah.
And the BPO sector has been quite big in terms of you get a lot of the tier 2, tier 3 town, the girls are coming into those jobs. If the BPO exists in the same town, ideal, but otherwise they move to the city.
Thankful to Rekha for giving us such a wonderful evening and such a great discussion among great eminent women. Well, you all are married and you all are blessed with children. This question is coming from an unmarried girl. I am 42. I was a pilot earlier and now I'm into event management. I'm a professional singer. I also travel all over India and travel abroad. When I was a pilot, I never got any encouragement from my family. I also come from a middle-class family like Shanti ma'am and Vijayalakshmi ma'am. And typical traditional values that you just need to get married, you can't do anything. And I came out of the, against everybody odds and came up on my own without anybody's support and maximum support of my mom. And now I stand where I get proposals and everybody say, oh, she was a pilot. How can you marry a pilot? Oh, she's an event manager. How can you marry an event manager? So I'm not able to really grow and be as great leaders as you. So you all got support of your parents and you're getting support of your husbands too. So what advice or suggestion you would give me? Because I think, behind every moon, there's a man, they say. So you all have men behind you? Or you suggest me to be single still or search my right guy still?
Wait, certainly, sorry, you're directing it at the panel, but I'll tell you, wait for the right guy when you feel you need to get married. Otherwise, no need to marry. You are quite happy without it.
Actually, getting a right guy is difficult. The question, first thing, the proposals they asked me, I had so many pellichupulu and muh dikhais at home and so many questions. They said, what is this event management? What are you doing? What do you gain out of this? Now, Avani ma'am got support of her mother and mother-in-law. Now I recently, a few months back, I had a proposal. They said like, will you be doing shows late night? I said, yes, I come back home only by 12 o'clock, 1 o'clock after my show is over. So how will you take care of your family? And one guy says, then who will look after children? Who will take care of my mother-in-law? So Kidwai ma'am, you're the senior most. I need something advice from you.
Well, I think the answer is in your question. If you obviously haven't had the proposal from the right guy. Yeah. He has to love you for what you are and respect you for what you are. Yeah.
And then you need to be able to negotiate, as Avani was mentioning, negotiate.
Well, I should tell you this, that, you know, marriage is good. It's something you should have, children you should have, but it's not everything. So, you know, so don't go hankering after where is this guy going to come, because if you're destined to find him, he'll land in your lap, he'll come, he'll be a knight in shining armor, you may fly a plane, he may, you know, fly it even better. So if he's got to be there, he's going to come. Otherwise, you know, don't keep looking for windmills which you can't fight. So, you know, just live the life you're living and just enjoy yourself the way you are, because it's really not required. There's no right and wrong in it. It was okay when you're 19 and everyone said you had to get married. But at 42, you just have to have a good time. And my sister's threatening to call my husband and tell him I said this. I know that. Yeah, she's waiting to tell him that. But let me tell you that the moment the husband accepts the fact that, you know, the wife has to have a good time, he enjoys being at home. Because an unhappy wife is probably the worst thing ever for the men. So there's absolutely nothing wrong in that. But one little word, my father taught me this, is that belief is power. You know, from the time we were children, he would read the Sundara Kandam. He was a great believer. He is a great believer in Hanuman. And he says that if you believe you can do something, you can actually do it. And belief is definitely power. So if you believe, you know, you can do something and be fantastic at what you do, you'll do it. So just believe in yourself.
I'm Hina Srivastav, and the founder chair of the Hyderabad chapter. It's a pleasure to be here and see Rekha do what she did today. One of you pointed out that women reevaluate themselves, that they need to be 80% good to be where they need to be, drawing a comparison to men who think that they are 50% to judge or to get into competition. Today, with women at CEO levels, do you think this is something that is to be followed, or is it an overreaction of women? And today, with women like you on top, are you trying to let women come out of this to say that it's okay not to be 80% and 50% efficiency can take you to the top? I mean, are you people really educating the women in the workforce to say that you don't have to be that 80%? Because most of us know that we're only good at some things and bad at most things. Let's understand that. So do we really, are all of you trying to educate women to say, it's not okay. It's okay to be 50, 60% to go up. You don't have to be that 80%. Don't give that extra leg forward.
See, there are two ways of looking at it. If you're working in a listed company, you have a responsibility to the shareholders and the stakeholders. You need to be 100% good at what you do. You know, you have to give it your best. There's no going away from it. And this thing about, there's no 50 or 80% in that. You have to be as good and give your complete self to what you do.
I think,
so I don't think there's
it's
a
more
compromise.
about the risk-taking ability.
Yeah, but I think risk-taking ability
Women don't put their hand up
when
as
you look at women, a lot of them are taking risks.
This
You know, I
point
mean,
is-
if she's
it's
a
also
pilot,
about-
it's a huge risk.
I don't know, I would think it's also about parents instilling that confidence in children that you can do it. It's something that comes back to me from childhood, whether my parents or whoever was around me gave me those vibes that I am capable of doing whatever else that needs to be achieved.
So one of the answers to what you asked is that if, you know, the women have the potential, then they can be trained to, perform up to the 100% quotient. And what organizations really do is identify what we call high pose, high potential. We do that both in men and women. But where we believe that women are high potential, and where maybe they are 60, 70%, and she's absolutely right that in listed companies, even otherwise, you have stakeholders you're answerable to. The answer lies in being able to bring them up to that potential through mentoring, training, skill development, etc., which is what organizations focus on.